Tywin's underbite really reminds me of Gonzo. You cannot tell me there's not a resemblance. Tywin is one of those odd heroes that is overvalued but at the same time undervalued by a lot of people, which we'll get to in this video. But checking out his bio, we find out that Tywin is a general, likes using artillery, and has always been able to count on Captain Rambo. And I do want to make fun of the translations in this bio here real quick. In the second line, he loves to use cannon in battle. I too love to use cannon in battle. Moving on to Tywin's exclusive skill, Charge Cannon. This one's very straightforward. Whenever your army units attack, there's a chance that they'll be able to attack a second time, dealing 117.4% damage at max stats. And this ability has a 35% trigger chance according to the Topwar Bible. Now, Tywin is one of the heroes that you generally get early on in the game. There's a lot of packs or events where they throw Tywin at you, so he's a common hero to see at a high rank compared to other heroes early in the game. So that's one of his strengths, is just kind of having an early game orange hero that's relatively easy to get a hold of. As far as his strengths, he's going to be good against single target enemies such as the world boss or sand table, since you're able to attack the same target twice. All that damage is focused on a single target. Of course, he's army, so he's going to be strong against air. As far as his weakness, of course, since he is army, he'll be weak to navy, but also he is just a lower tier hero. While you do get access to him early on in the game, late game, even mid game, Tywin is not a good hero to be using, so he is a low to mid tier hero and definitely someone that you'll want to replace. But again, having early access to an orange hero is always a plus. As far as his uses, like I already mentioned, he's an early game hero, but also he's a gathering hero. His exclusive ability, he's able to gain an additional effect to it at level 3, 5, and 7. At level 3, you'll get an additional 15% gather speed increase. He does have to be in the march for this to work, so it's not a global effect. But at level 3, it's 15%, level 5, it's 30%, and level 7, it's 45%. Now, I did mention at the start of the video that I think Tywin is overvalued, but at the same time undervalued. The reason I say that is early game, a lot of people get excited to get an orange hero and level him up, and being able to attack twice seems like a great thing, but he just doesn't match up to some of the other heroes, so I think he gets overvalued early game. However, late game, I think he's undervalued because a lot of people overlook his gather speed increase, and getting a level 5 gather speed increase or a level 5 exclusive skill for the 30% gather speed increase is not hard to do, especially when you utilize the island store. Now, as far as the pairings that I would recommend for Tywin, since he is an early game hero, likely you're going to be short on orange heroes, so of course Rambo is always the reliable one for the purple heroes. But if you still have some other orange heroes to work with, Katyusha is definitely a good hero to be pairing with him, if I can find her on my list. There she is. Just being able to do some additional damage output. Catty has one of the highest damage outputs of the army heroes and is a late game hero, so a great pairing with Tywin while you're waiting to replace him. But of course, since Tywin is a good gathering hero, of course he's going to pair well with any of the other gathering heroes. Gonzo has the same gather speed effect that Tywin has, so he's a good pairing. Any of the purple heroes that you've perked out or any other hero that has a gathering effect would be a good pairing with him, so you can send him out, because as I mentioned, his exclusive skill is not a global gather speed increase. It only affects the march that he's currently in. As far as the skills that I would equip to Tywin, if you're using him for combat, of course you want his exclusive skill. You'll want a march size increase, attack increase, and damage increase, so those classic PvP skills. If you're using him for gathering, you're going to want a rare and common universal gather speed increase, his exclusive skill if you have it to at least level 3 or 5, and then either a rare food or a rare oil, whichever you have him specialized in. Now, the perks that I would recommend equipping him with, you'll want all unit attack and HP, as well as army attack and HP, but you'll see that I have actually perked him out for gathering. I'm doing something a little bit odd here. I want to perk out my Navy heroes, and something I did, I have all unit HP, Navy HP, and I have world collection speed and food collection speed. Now, if you're going to do gathering, I would recommend world collection speed and either food or oil. That way you have to invest the least amount of perks. But what I'm doing here is I've got him for gathering, but as I finish these other 2 perks, once all 4 are complete, I'll re-roll the gathering ones to the Navy combat skills that I want on them, and then I'll pay 1,000 gems to switch them to my Navy heroes. The benefit to this is, in the meantime, I have a 98% gather speed increase whenever I'm on food. So the gathering perks that I have on him are just temporary. So I'll just re-roll these to Navy attack and all unit attack and then swap them over to my Navy hero. But at least I get the benefit of the gather speed in the meantime. Well, that's all I got to say about True Grit Underbite Tywin. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to drop a like. Thank you to everybody who subscribed. And, as always, have a fantastic day.